That works. Hello, Jacksonites, and welcome to my final video of 2024. I would have had this out earlier this month, but I wanted to take some time to try to put my thoughts on this in a more cohesive manner. But I might be a little all over the place with this video today. So I beg your pardon for that. And I have a fair bit of things to talk about and say, so just bear with me. But I want to start the video off on a good note. And recently, I don't think it's that recent. I think it was around May or June or so. I can't quite remember. But I finally have surpassed 400 subscribers. It took me how long to gain just 100 subs? Like 3.5 years, almost four. I don't even remember when I did my 300 subs Q&A back in, pardon Roman in the background. And by the way, this actually will be the new hairstyle going forward. I'm not going to be shaving my head anymore for a long, long, long time because just gone through some stuff that just makes me appreciate the slicked back look way more. Although, no, I'm not going full on Mel Gibson from the Lethal Weapon movies and just bringing back the mullet. I'm not going to shave this part of my hair short and then just leave this long. Nah, I don't much care for the mullet look. Damn, when the hell did I do that? Oh my God. December 23rd, 2020 was when I did my 300 subscriber end of the year Q&A. So, yeah, almost 4 years later. Um, hmm, well, so yeah, it took me 4 years to hit 400 subs. I think I'm at like 420 subs now, but yeah, I hit 400 back earlier, way earlier this year. But I reached out to a lot of my subscribers and asked for some questions to be submitted, and sadly, I don't have that many. But then again, I did reach out only 3 or 4 days ago asking for questions. So, I mean, I have a fair bit. See, we have I have 7 questions from Lord Hellhound from Horror and Metal channel. What inspired you to become a YouTuber? That's actually a really layered question, and that'll kind of lead into a potential video that I would like to try to do sometime next year. Because, spoilers, technically speaking, next year, I believe, is my 10-year anniversary of doing videos on YouTube. So I want to try to do I guess a little mini documentary on myself talking about how my channel has evolved over the last 10 years. But and this is a big topic that I would like to discuss. But what inspired me was actually, I think Jackie Boy had a lot to do with it because he had just done his retrospective reviews on the Jaws movies back in 2015 to celebrate the film's 40th anniversary. And, I was like, you know what? I got a phone. I can record myself talking about movies. Why not? Let me do it there. So I did, and the rest is history. A lot of those videos, actually, no, all of those videos don't exist anymore. Matter of fact, the oldest video I have on my channel that still exists. Um, God damn it! I really wish there was a better way to look at this stuff. Is my Lost Tapes season one review back in 2017, I believe. Oh my god, how the hell did that video get so many views? No, December 1st, 2017. So, of my existing videos, I already have surpassed that anniversary. Um, but yeah, there was a whole bunch of things that went into my inspiration for doing YouTube, but a big part of it was Jackie Boy, and a big part of it was me just being surrounded by a bunch of films and franchises that uh, I was watching at the time that I really just wanted to talk about, and it slowly evolved from there into what it exists now. But Jackie Boy had a lot to do with it. Shawnee Boy had a lot to do with it. Adam Noyes from AM Productions had a lot to do with it. Um, the remnants of the original, well, Adam Noyes was a bit was a kind of a part of that too, but the remnants of the old kaiju YouTuber circle, like Zazabar, Gorazard, Unknown 837, Adam Noyes. They inspired me to do my videos. Hello, Anthony Sarkis. Hey, if you got any questions, go ahead and submit in the chat. I welcome all. But yeah, that's a whole like kind of documentary in and of itself that I do want to get into. But that's the short, vague answer. What inspired me to be a YouTuber? It was Jackie Boy, a lot of other YouTubers I was watching, and a lot of films I was watching at the time. Because as I've stated before, 2015 was the beginning of what I call the Hollywood Renaissance. So it just I felt like I had a huge pool of stuff that I could talk for endless hours about, and it still is pretty unexplored. Question number two is, what is your favorite movie and why? Well, I've never answered the why, but the my favorite movie is James Cameron's Avatar, including Avatar 2: The Way of Water. Even though there is a big time jump between those two movies, I consider them to be one film because I really cannot um watch now. I cannot watch one without the other. And as I've said before, Avatar 2 is just more of my favorite movie. Even if it took nearly 14 years to get that sequel, James Cameron has a way of pulling through. Oh, let me crack this open too. That's good. Um, but my why are they my favorite films? Well, it's also a layered question. I think the special effects are fantastic. It is an amazingly colorful and beautiful film to look at. The action scenes are spectacular. It has a fantastic mix of sci-fi and spirituality that I really appreciate. Even though I very much am a fan of technology, I very much am a fan of watching movies and TV shows. Avatar is definitely one of the biggest films that just makes me want to go out into the wilderness and just appreciate nature. It's got great characters and great villains. Amazing. I already said this, but amazing action scenes. Both movies do. Uh, it's kind of funny though. Initially, when I saw the poster for Avatar, I kind of dismissed it. But when I watched the first trailer, I was like, ooh, this looks good. And then I went on to see Avatar 5 times in theaters. and I didn't see the second one in theaters at all. Damn. Gonna have to rectify that with Avatars 3, 4, and 5. What is your favorite horror movie and why? Well, I've already answered that numerous times. John Carpenter's The Thing, but I've never answered why. Um, it just is the one that captivates me the most. It has the best elements of all that I like in horror. It's gory. It's oh, okay. Um, Yeah, it's gory and it has amazing practical special effects. It has really good suspense, proper use of suspense. It's not just long stretches of nothing happening with a slow pacing to the point where it gets boring. It has an interesting and engaging human cast that is very entertaining and captivating to watch. Um, it does have good scares. It's got some fun action scenes. It has a couple funny one-liners. It has Kurt Russell because of course. Um, and it has a hauntingly, in a good way, ambiguous ending. Yeah, the John Carpenter's The Thing. It's a culmination of everything that I like done properly in horror films. So yeah, that's why John Carpenter's The Thing is my favorite. Uh, who's your favorite kaiju other than Godzilla and why? That's hard too, because there's two major kaiju franchises. There's Godzilla, well, I guess three. Godzilla, Gamera, and Ultraman, but Godzilla and Ultraman being the major big two. As far as Godzilla kaiju, it's a toss up between Mechagodzilla and Gigan. Uh, And that's hard because there's multiple variants of Mechagodzilla. When there's 2 variants of Gigan, but I really well, I guess 3, but, I really like both. Yeah, I have to just say, I know that might be a cop out, but, yeah, I'm gonna have to say it's a tie between, Mechagodzilla and Gigan. And why? As far as Gigan's concerned, well, I like Gigan's attacks. I like that he's literally just a Swiss Army knife of blades and lasers. Kind of the same case for Mechagodzilla in most variants as well. And a big reason for Mechagodzilla is Mechagodzilla falls into the evil doppelganger cliche. Like I've said before, I think a villain or a hero's greatest rival is their evil duplicate, like Red Hulk to Hulk, Venom to Spider-Man, Bane to Batman, Mechagodzilla to Godzilla is a robotic doppelganger. Space Godzilla falls into that too, though I do like Mechagodzilla more than Space Godzilla. Um, but I also generally like, except for the anime version, I like all versions of Mechagodzilla. They have a unique and interesting variety of attacks and weapons. I like all their designs, again, except the anime version. Um, yeah, that's why it's Gigan and Mechagodzilla. For Ultraman, I like Zeton a lot, and I also like Golza and Gamora. But I have to say Zeton, because Zeton generally, whenever a variant of Zeton is introduced, uh, Zeton has consistently given. Oh, Red King too. Zeton has consistently given most Ultramen that have gone up against Zeton or a variant of Zeton. They've gotten their asses kicked, or they've had to really pull out all the stops to defeat Zeton. Um, so yeah, Zeton's my favorite Ultraman kaiju. And quickly, as far as Gamera is concerned, Queen Legion. I like insect monsters, and Queen Legion gave Gamera the most hellacious beating um, of the entire franchise, not just the Heisei trilogy. Yeah, I like Queen Legion best. Anthony Sarkis has a question saying, "Thought of doing a top 10 favorite Ultraman and Kamen Rider series video." I have actually, but I probably could do a Kamen Rider list sooner than Ultraman because unlike Kamen Rider, I own every single Ultraman show that's been released, with two more on the way in on Blu-ray. But before I do the Ultraman video, I want to review the entire Ultraman franchise before I do top 10 favorite Ultraman series. But as far as Kamen Rider is concerned, don't hold your breath. Actually, no, funny enough, I probably could do the Ultraman video before Kamen Rider because at the rate that Toei is releasing Kamen Rider in the States, I probably could have watched and reviewed and done the top 10 video for Ultraman before 10 of my favorite Kamen Rider shows could be released because thus far we've gotten one, no, well, no, yeah, two Kamen Rider shows that are among my favorites uh, released here in the States. They've done Kuga, they did Ryuki, they did Zero One, Black RX. They just recently did V3, which I already own, so I won't be getting that. And I think that's it. Six Kamen Rider shows, and only not counting V3. Well, I have two, but only one, Black RX, is amongst my top 10 favorites. So, yes, I could do those, but Toei needs to hurry their asses up and release more Kamen Rider. Lord Hellhound has three more. They all have to do with the 80s. Favorite 80s horror movie? I'm going to say, aside from John Carpenter's The Thing, Aliens. Yeah, Aliens. It kind of has a lot in common with The Thing. It's got a great cast of characters whose camaraderie and kinship is very infectious and entertaining. Amazing practical special effects. It's not as gory as well, it is pretty slimy and gooey, but it's not quite as bloody and violent as The Thing, but it does have that in a fair bit. Um, it's suspenseful and creepy, and it's got amazing action scenes and amazing special effects. Um, Favorite 80s non-horror movie? Hmm. There's Return of the Jedi. There's Commando, Rambo: First Blood Part 2, Rocky 3. Um, I don't know. That's a hard one. Toss up between those that I just listed off. And favorite 80s movie character? Much as I love, um, oh, there's also RoboCop too. That's also gotta be a toss-up between the Terminator, RoboCop, Rambo, and okay, toss-up between those 3. There you go. Alright, that's all for Lord Hellhound. I got some photos from Ryan Boy. What was your favorite movie of 2024? That's a little hard because I haven't seen very many films from 2024. I think I've seen maybe 6 or 7. Let's see. I saw Godzilla X Kong, of course. I saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I saw Sting. Um, I have a fair few films from this year, but I just haven't gotten around to watching them. I saw Long Legs. I saw Oddity. I think that's about it. Yeah, I have some more. There's a Strange Darling, Alien Romulus. I haven't seen Alien Romulus yet, and you're probably thinking I'm crazy. But that's about it. Yeah. So, favorite movie of 2024? I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the default and just say Godzilla X Kong. Yeah, that's probably my favorite. Honestly, that's really the only film from 2024 that I've really liked. Because the next question, most disappointing movie of 2024, I'd probably have to say Oddity, because the trailer for the film made it look really good. And there's reviews saying that's like the scariest movie of the year. And I watched it and it was not at all what I was expecting it to be. And it just left a really bad taste in my mouth. And I was just like, God, what the hell was this? Long Legs was kind of disappointing too, because again, the trailers made it look really good. And by the end of it, I had more questions that were intentionally left unanswered. Um, and it's just again, it was not the film that I was expecting it to be. So yeah, Long Legs was also pretty disappointing. To be 100% honest, 2024 has been a very lackluster year for films. Um, and then third question he has here, most surprising movie of 2024, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, because of how much of a underwhelming experience it was. Again, the trailers made it look really good, but then I watched the movie in theaters, my first Planet of the Apes movie in theaters, so I'm grateful for that, but I was just really surprised by, how underwhelmed I was, and kinda disappointed. Yeah, outside Godzilla X Kong, all the movies I've seen thus far have just been disappointing or underwhelming in some way, shape, or form. I have some questions from. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get Shawnee Boy first. He has 6 questions for me. Question number one: what should GXK3 be about? Well, I want Godzilla and Kong to team up again. I am very much a fan of those two being a team rather than against each other. But yeah, I want to team up. I do not want Destroya. I don't know why so many people are so desperate for Destroya to be a part of the MonsterVerse. I don't want it to be the finale. I do not want Godzilla to die or become a villain. For some reason, that's kind of a vibe I've been getting from the MonsterVerse fans. Is that there's, I guess, a lot of people that want Godzilla to be a villain, and I don't want that. I don't like villain Godzilla very much. I prefer him to be either a hero or at least an anti-hero. So I want him to continue just being the big badass rampaging murder lizard protecting the Earth that he's been ever since the MonsterVerse began. Um, what should it be about? Um, Godzilla and Kong just coming back once again to protect the world from a great threat. I would like to see Biollante be added into the MonsterVerse. I think that could they could tie Biollante into being like the Earth's manifestation, using nature as its big weapon to fight back against humanity. And but it goes out of control, and Godzilla and Kong have to step in and defeat Biollante in order to regain balance for the Earth. I think that'd be really cool. Um, yeah, that's what I want it to be about. Question number 2, favorite Stallone movie and why? Well, funny enough, I would like to do a similar video to my Arnold Schwarzenegger list for Stallone. Um, so I can't name one off the top of my head because there's lots of really good Stallone flicks. But the Rocky movies, all of the original six, Rambo 1, 2, and 4 specifically. Or no, Rambo 2, 4, and 5 specifically for me. Cliffhanger is really good. Um, Bullet to the Head, I've always had a great appreciation for. That's about it. Yeah. It's a toss up between one of the Rocky movies or one of the Rambo movies. Question number 3, most underrated Godzilla movie and why? Godzilla versus Gigan comes to mind. As much as many flaws that film has, I still think that it does get an unnecessary amount of hate. Godzilla versus Hedorah, even though that one has a fair bit of fans too, I still think that movie is very underrated. Godzilla Raids again, that film has flaws, but I think it is better than most people give it credit for. King of the Monsters 2019, that movie gets a ton of hate that I do not think is deserved whatsoever. Um, that's about it. Yeah. Question number 4, who is the best current action star? Jason Statham comes to mind. Alan Rickson, who plays Reacher, also comes to mind. I just watched Reacher season 2 a couple weeks ago. I thought it would. Um, yeah, those two, Alan Richson and Jason Statham. You're not late. I'm still working through questions. Um, Anthony here asks, would you want Gigan to be in the MonsterVerse? Hell yes. I know they already have kind of scratched the surface of space monsters with Ghidorah from King of the Monsters 2019. But I think Gigan would be the best monster to purely focus on enemies coming from space. I don't want them to do Space Godzilla. I know there's also a lot of people, at least not yet. I think Space Godzilla should be saved for a much later date. But yeah, I think Gigan would be a good monster to start with dealing with space kaiju, or space titans, as they would be called in the MonsterVerse. But yeah, I'd like to see Gigan in the MonsterVerse. That'd be cool. Question number 5 is, who is your all-time favorite movie couple? Hmm, I've never thought about that before. Hmm, favorite movie couple. I don't think I have one. No, I don't think I have one. No, sorry. Yeah, no, I got nothing. Sorry. Anthony here asks, "Are you a fan of any J horror films?" No, not really. J horror really does not work for me. It's kind of the same issue I have with a lot of Italian horror, is that, well, especially with J horror, they tend to be very bleak and not very fun, and they end with either all the characters dying or the main survivor being royally fucked in some way, like The Grudge, The Ring, Shudder, um, Tomie. They're just like these unstoppable, unkillable, inescapable curses or demons or ghosts that no matter what you do, you're dead or you're fucked. That's not fun for me. Italian horror does that a lot too. Have you seen any 60s and 70s horror films from Toho and Dai, like yokai monsters? No, I have not seen the yokai monsters. I'm not really interested in seeing that kind of stuff. The only reason that I want to see, I can't remember, like the Great Yokai War, the sequel to that, is because Daimajin makes an appearance in that movie. And I guess that's being released sometime next year. So I want to get my hands on that just to see Daimajin. That'd be cool. But from Toho, I have seen the Bloodthirsty trilogy. I don't think I own them anymore, but I was not impressed. They have a very slow pace. They're kind of incomprehensible, especially the vampire doll. That wasn't even a vampire movie. It was just a boring, generic cursed doll movie. It was just not a good movie for me. There was Lake of Dracula and I think Evil of Dracula, which both of those movies were very meh, very standard 70s like Hammer horror film ripoffs. And I'm not much of a fan of Hammer horror, so if you have a lesser film and then you have a inferior lesser clone of that, which is the Bloodthirsty trilogy, you, you already lost me. But I have seen um I have seen all 4 Shochiku horror films. There was X from Outer Space, there was Gokbai Snatcher from Hell, there was, The Living Skeleton, and Genocide War of the Insects. The Living Skeleton was a piece of shit. Um, Genocide War of the Insects was very, kinda incomprehensible and kinda boring for the most part, except for a batshit crazy ending. X from Outer Space is one of the worst giant monster movies I've ever seen in my life. I have no desire to review that movie for Super Kaiju Binge because my opinion is exactly the same as it was back in 2018. It's just a bad piece of shit movie. And Gok Body Snatcher from Hell, that's a pretty solid. Even though that ends with the literally the entire planet dying, that was an entertaining J horror movie. So there you go. There's one J horror film that I like. Gok the Body Snatcher from Hell. Um, that's it for that. Yeah, keep them coming, guys. And Shiny Boy's final question: favorite animated movie and why? Um, I actually thought about doing a video like that, but my favorite animated movie. I have like categories because I can't just pick one. So my favorite Disney movie is also I can't pick one. My favorite Disney movie, like pure Disney, not counting Pixar, um, is a three-way tie between Hunchback of Notre Dame, Mulan, and Hercules. Those are my 3 favorite Disney movies. I cannot pick one. But Hercules is my absolute number 1 favorite. For Pixar, The Incredibles, with the first 3 Toy Story movies being a close second. Um, Non-Disney animated movies, that one's also kinda hard. Well, my favorite anime movie is probably either Kiki's Delivery Service or Ponyo. Um, for like Don Bluth, All Dogs Go to Heaven, with part 2 being a close second as well. Um, DreamWorks, probably Kung Fu Panda 2 or Shrek 2. Animated superhero movie, that's a toss-up between Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, both parts edited together, and Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse. Um, I think that's about it, yeah. Those are the ones that come off the top of my head. Texas Guy Movie Reviews asks, which Tremors movie is your favorite? Tremors 5, still, to this day. Tremors 5. And then I have how many from Jackie Boy? I have 5 questions from Jackie Boy, too. What retro movie did you watch this year that hasn't held up? None? Really? Because I watch movies that I like and like movies that I know for sure that I like. But I will say I did have another Predator marathon this year, and I can definitively say Predators is easily still my least favorite Predator film. And I can definitively say every time I watch that film, I like it less and less. Surprisingly, though, I've had a lot of turnarounds from movies that I previously didn't care for, and even I still don't care for them, but I gave them a rewatch, and I was like, I can still watch it. Like Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, Godzilla versus Mothra in 1992. Godzilla versus Destroya. I can now definitively still say that's my least favorite Heisei film. Um, that's about it. Have you seen the History of the Reviewiverse retrospective where you are included? No, I have not. I didn't even know I was a part of that. Unless that's the clip that Jackie Boy just sent me not too long ago. Have to I'll have to look this up. Maybe I can find myself. I'm gonna mute this just so I don't possibly get a copyright strike. Oh, wait, I just found myself. What the fuck? Hey, damn right I'm the Ultra Guard. Is that the only part where I show up in? I think it might be. Oh, wait, no. Damn, really? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Media Hunter. I haven't watched him in ages. Long time ago. I'm in the middle of it. I show up anymore? No, that's about it. I think it was only 2 sections. So I guess now, yes, I have. I've seen myself in it. Out of all the franchises that exist, which is your favorite and your least favorite? Well, I did my top 15 favorite franchises video at the beginning of 2022. I think number 1 was a tie between Godzilla and Ultraman. My least favorite franchise? Honestly, the first one that comes to mind is the MCU, but that's not, well, I mean, it kinda now is a fault on the franchise itself, but that's only my least favorite just because I wish it would stop. Um, I'm just so tired of I'm so tired of superhero movies just stealing the thunder from the rest of Hollywood. I thought it was gonna be like, I mean, it could still very well could be, but that also could just be me talking out of my ass because Deadpool and Wolverine was a huge hit this year and made a butt fuck ton of money. But I still think that because Sony's Spider-Man universe is about to come to an end, and we've literally had every single other superhero franchise come to some kind of end except for the MCU. The DC Extended Universe ended, the Arrowverse ended, the Sony Spider-Man universe is about to end, the Marvel Fox universe came to an end back in 2020. The Tomorrowverse came to an end. The DC animated universe has come to an end. I think the only one that still exists now is the MCU. And I'm just really tired of that franchise just stealing the thunder from everybody else in Hollywood. As far as my least favorite franchise, and the reason I say that's hard is because, well, there are a lot of MCU movies that I do like. Well, theoretically. Nah, actually, I think I like maybe half of the films, but yeah, I'm tired of that franchise sticking around. I think that series they should have ended it with Avengers Endgame. But the next Jackie Boy question is, well, I already answered this one. Best movie you saw this year, new or retrospectively? Yeah, best movie thus far from 2024 is Godzilla X Kong. And would you do more collaboration and cameos for other content creators? I would. A, if I had more time. B, if I knew others that would be willing to have me on. But also C, this kind of goes into what are your goals you wish to do on your channel in 2025. That's going to lead itself to the big chunk of this video that I want to discuss. So that's all the questions. Like Anthony or Texas guy, if you got more, keep them coming and I'll answer periodically. The last one we have here is, what did you think of Scar King? Thought he was a good villain. That's all I'm going to say for right now. So now we're going to go into the 2024 year end review section. And this is going to be a little difficult. To be 100% honest, 2024 was one of the worst years of my life, and has definitely been the most difficult year that I've gone through easily since the at least like the first half of 2015. Um, but I've had a lot of shit happen to me over the course of this year, and it's just been a very taxing and a very trying and difficult year. Um, I'm not gonna go super in depth with a lot of details, partially because I don't want to really like start up any drama with anybody on the internet, because that's actually something that's gotten me into some trouble this year. Not legally or anything, but um, just I've done some things this year that I shouldn't have done on the internet. Nothing bad, so don't think that way. I'm too afraid of prison. um, but yeah, 2024 has sucked. In terms of film, as I've stated, this year has been very lackluster. But I've had a lot of things happen to me personally this year. I've lost friends. I had three separate occasions where I almost escaped this one bedroom apartment that I've been living in for the last 4 years. Um, and I had all three of them snatched out of my grasp literally at the 11th hour. And all three times sent me into hysterical bawling. I'm not going to lie. Texas guy asks, "What is your most nostalgic film?" Hercules or Terminator 2 or Return of the Jedi? Is your question there. Um, let's see. Me and Meadow have had a lot of turbulence in our relationship this year. A lot of it was my fault, um, because of a lot of factors. I've just been very unhappy this year. A lot of that having to do financially, because as everybody is knowing and realizing, inflation has been strangling almost the entirety of this country. Um, so I moved into this apartment May 30th of 2020, and it being December 12th, 2024, in 4 years, my rent has increased $450. I used to pay 810 a month for rent. Now I pay 1185. Well, okay, no, it's 395, but still in 4 years my rent has gone up nearly $400. Goddamn ridiculous. Um excuse me. Um so, I don't like being broke, but there have been many times where I get paid and not even like 6 hours later my bank account's empty. Um So yeah, that's something that's really been messing with me. But yeah, me and Meadow have had some relationship issues this year. And again, a lot of it was my fault because me being so unhappy with my living situation and my job and my personal life. Um I just really didn't know how to deal with it. I tried getting therapy a few times this year. But it all leads back to money. Therapy, like everybody, I see so many ads for BetterHelp or all these like different therapy online services, but the problem is that they all cost money and they're all expensive. Like 2 or 3 times I tried to get signed up for some kind of therapy and I just had to keep turning them down because they're just so damn expensive. So that certainly, and every time I would just get more and more and more discouraged. Like, damn, how the hell are we supposed to get therapy that everyone's trying to shove down our throats nowadays when we can't even fucking afford it? Um, the biggest thing that's affected me this year is the loss of friends. Um, One of them being a YouTuber that I used to admire that turned out to be kind of a shitty person. I'm not going to say his name. He doesn't even do videos anymore, but I don't want to name names. But yeah, that person, after years of silence, out of the blue, he just comes out and reveals that he did some pretty sad and shocking and pathetic things years ago, and he just reached out to me to confess his sins, and that left a really bad taste in my mouth and kind of added some fuel to my already burning pile of misery at the time. So yeah, that messed with me for a while. um This next one I will name, but only because I feel like this has been an elephant in the room ever since he left the channel. But I thought that maybe circumstances would change, but now they're changed in a permanent way. So this person's never coming back. So Trevor Thompson is no longer affiliated with Jacksonite Productions. Um, the reason why he's never come back after Terminator 2 is because he got tired of doing reviews. And in the process of which he ended up ghosting me 3 times. He would be silent for a while, then he'd come back and we'd start talking, and then he would ghost me again, wash and repeat 2 more times after that. Now I realize that, I did have Trevor Boy on a lot on my channel, and it wasn't because I was using him just to increase my channel. Like hell, not to rub it in his face. I had more subscribers than he did, even when I brought him on my channel, and he has his own channel, but he's got like 30 subs. So it's not I was using him to increase my sub count, or I wasn't using him for views. I liked the dynamic that me and Trev had talking about movies because he and I had a lot of the same tastes. And even if we didn't, our dynamic back and forth, I was a big fan of. And as we mentioned on camera multiple times, we shared a brain and we balanced each other out. Like Trev was more insightful towards talking about effects and script writing and like cast and crew members, whereas me, I talk about effects, I talk about action, I talk about music, and I talk about scares more often. But yeah, I like the synergy and the what's the word, camaraderie that me and Trev had. I thought he and I bounced off each other really well, and he was my favorite of all my guests for a long time. But Trev got tired of doing videos, and whenever I would try to get him intrigued into coming back to doing videos in a limited state, because I would talk to him and I would say, I realize I kind of relied on you a lot for doing videos, but is there any way you could come back? But he was very firm in saying no. And by the way, I don't know if you guys have noticed at all, but Trev did have influence on me in talking about films. Like I have made some mentions of talking about script writing and talking about actors, and specifically because Trev's a writer at heart. He was my main inspiration for me doing my beginning of the video speeches, specifically uh, ranking the DC Extended Universe and the Arnold Schwarzenegger video. He was my biggest influence. But the straw that broke the camel's back was just simply I finally just got frustrated with Trev ghosting me. So he and I had one final conversation. Some words were said on both sides, some that I'm not proud of. But yeah, Trevor Thompson is no longer affiliated with Jack Knight Productions. Like that is a seemingly set in stone thing. Made me very sad. Really upset me. Like I was in tears again. Not gonna lie. See, here's the thing that a lot of people must know about me is that when I make friends with somebody, like genuinely make friends with somebody, um, this is gonna sound weird. Like I fall hard. I like get really attached, like super glue, gorilla glue, T-Rex tape, like stuck. When I jive with someone that I really like, I jive with them hard, like Shawnee Boy, Ryan Boy, Jackie Boy. Um, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Shawnee Boy has now become my new like de facto like best guest that I bounce off of. And I really like the I like the dynamic that me and Shawnee Boy have. He and I have some similar interests, but there's times where he and I are just totally different. But that the us being opposites also is fun for us to watch. Or like fun for others to watch and fun for me and Shawnee Boy to discuss on camera. Like me not liking Godzilla minus one, and him loving it, and me loving the Avatar films and him hating them. Me being a big James Cameron fan and him not being a James Cameron fan. But yeah, that dynamic that me and Shawnee Boy have is also really good. But also, when it comes to actually reviewing movies, Shawnee Boy and I do a good job as well. We also bounce off each other really good too. So not that I'm downplaying Ryan or Jack or Sean's attributions to my or not what's the word contributions, excuse me, contributions to my channel. I love and appreciate all of them for what they have done. But losing and Trev's departure from my channel did leave a gaping hole for a long time, and it took me a long time to figure out how to fill it back up. And I appreciate Texas Guy movie reviews as well, even though he and I have only done two videos. The Gamma of the Brave video was really good, so I'm proud of that one. I only say Jurassic Park is kind of bad because of a lot of the technical issues. Um, but yeah, I lost Trev permanently, and that really upset me for a while. And the biggest blow that I took this year is you'll notice that I haven't really talked about, no, I haven't at all. I haven't talked about Victoria at all. Well, that's because literally 2 days after our Shin Godzilla video, her and I had a really nasty falling out that destroyed me. Um, oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, Meadows talking to Roman in the background. Um, oh, that's a thought I was going to finish earlier. So yeah, when I get attached to friends, when that connection is severed, it just like physically hurts me. Which happened with Trev. That's why I was in tears. Like I was just hurt so badly. Like if I was to lose Shawnee Boy or Jackie Boy or Ryan Boy, the exact same thing would happen. Um, I don't know if that's, like, unique to me because of maybe some possible undiagnosed abandonment issues, but I just don't like losing friends. So, whenever it happens, it really messes with me, which actually, by the way, I've also lost 2 or 3 actual friends that I have in person, one of which was just because I don't really agree with his life choices, but the other one is just simply he's gone silent for whatever reason, so whenever I would try to reach out to him, there'd just be silence on his end, so after 5 years of silence, I finally just said, Okay, never mind, dude. If you don't wanna talk to me, then I'm not gonna talk to you." Which that also hurt me. But, yeah, literally 2 days after my Shin Godzilla video, me and Vic had a really nasty falling out, and it destroyed me. I like, 4 or 5 days a week walking home from work, I would just be bawling my eyes out, and, that was part of the reason why, like, for the first couple months of 2024, there was a lot of videos coming out, like, some weeks I had 2 videos a week, like my old schedule. I miss that schedule, I keep meaning to come back to that, but, work and being a dad and just being the man of the house, it just takes away a lot of time, so it's hard. Um, but the fallout between me and Vic combined with Trev, combined with that one previous friend revealing his true colors, the financial issues that I've had this year, uh, the relocation issues that I've had this year trying to find a new place. Oh, and I also lost contact with my brother for a long time, which messed with me. That stacked on top of the other, and the issues I've had with Meadow. I considered suicide a couple times this year, and that's the big reason why my content has been so sporadic this year because I just haven't had the desire or the well, I want to do videos, but the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Not to be cliche or stupid talking about that, but it really is true. Um, and especially for the first half of this year, it was especially with the um aftermath of me and Vic having our falling out. It made a lot of days really hard to get through, and it made a lot of holidays really hard to get through as well. Um, I tried my best to get through it, but unfortunately, I think I did do some damage on my personal life as a result that I've been trying to fix, and I've had some success, but um, I think what I just need is a fresh start. But yeah, I considered suicide a couple times this year. Something I haven't done since 2015, first half of 2015. Um, so yeah, that's why my content was so sporadic. But this year hasn't all been bad. Like I still do definitively say that this has been the worst year of my life. It's been the most difficult year of my life. Um, but there have been some fun highlights, namely actually just coming from me and Meadow had a really nice Valentine's Day. She gave me a fantastic birthday. I gave her a fantastic birthday. And we're about to be giving each other a really good Christmas, or at least a peaceful, loving Christmas. So That's good. That is one reason too why this will be my final video of 2024. I have a lot of Christmas plans for the rest of this month, and also, I work at Walmart. Christmas is the busiest, most hectic month of the year. Um, but there's some other reasons too. One thing that's breathing down my neck is I will be forcibly be moving house sometime next month, and I don't know where, and I don't know for how long, but my apartment complex is being remodeled. But we can't be here while that's being done, obviously. But the big problem is that I don't know where they will be taking us. It could be as simply as going across the street, or it could mean that I have to move back in with family, which means severely compromising my lifestyle for a few months. So that's a big reason why I will not be doing any videos. Um, what did you send me? Oh, I'll have to look at that later. Um, but yeah, I want to wait until the whole moving business has been settled and done and over with, because I'm going to be relocated to a different location for 2 to 4 months. And then I have to go through the process of moving back into this place if I'm able to. So, and this could take, yeah, 2 to 4 months or even 6. So I very well may not be coming back to this channel until either June or maybe July. And I don't really feel like doing videos in my like in between location, because that location will be um temporary. And because like I said, I feel like I just need a fresh start. And I feel like taking some time off and reevaluating my channel and coming up with some other ideas for content, and also just doing some prep work for content in the future. I just feel like I need to take a hiatus. Um, as much as I don't want to, it seems like my life gets uprooted and stirred up in many ways every 4 to 5 years. In 2015, I moved in with my grandparents. In 2020, I moved here, and now 2024, well, going into 2025, I will be forcibly moved somewhere for a while. Um, so yeah, that is something that you gotta look forward to, is a 4 to 6 month break of nothing. But when I come back, so like I said, there have been some highlights, and on my channel, there have been highlights. The ranking the DC Extended Universe video was a phenomenal success as far as I'm concerned. My ranking the Star Wars video, I don't think it's as good as I would have liked it to be, but that was still a fun experience, and I'm grateful for Jackie Boy to contribute to that. Um, I got a lot of Super Kaiju Binge episodes out. Uh, I did the Heisei series, and I did Monarch Legacy of Monsters, so that was a lot of fun. I meant to come back to it in November, but obviously I just couldn't find the motivation to do so. When I come back, I want to do a lot more kaiju content, because we're celebrating Godzilla's 70th birthday all throughout the month of 2024. So when I come back, I think I really want to try to finish Super Kaiju Binge. I have Pacific Rim the Black, I have Skull Island Season 1, I have the Netflix Godzilla trilogy, I got Godzilla Singular Point, I got Gamera Rebirth, the Millennium Godzilla series, Godzilla X Kong. I will not be reviewing Yonguri and Gappa because A, I don't own them, and B, I don't want to own them because I'm not interested in seeing those films. X from Outer Space was good enough. No, thank you. Um, and since I began this year with this soda, it's fitting I end the year with this soda. Purely coincidence. But then I realized, oh shit, I did begin this year with Dr. Pepper. I have to piss. That's good. Um, I also want to do a ranking video for the Gamera franchise because next year is Gamera's 60th anniversary. Oh, by the way, that was another thing that messed with me this year. My grandfather almost died on his 60th wedding anniversary. His appendix burst. He's fine now, but that messed us up for a little bit. Yeah. Um, yeah, I want to do a ranking the Gamera franchise. I want to finish up Super Kaiju Binge. Um, but yeah, that's the content that I want to do. So that's my plans for this channel when I come back. I want to finish up Super Kaiju Binge. Yeah, that's my main thing. Oh, I got to review the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy. Thank you. You just reminded me of those. So, yeah, that's all I really have to say. I've been through the ringer this year, so that's why my content was so sporadic. And I don't know if you could tell, but I almost burst into tears just doing this video. Yeah, I got my ass kicked this year, so I need a fresh start. Um, I'll drop some updates on where my life is going, like in the community section, here and there, just to keep you guys updated. But um, yeah, this is the last time that I'll be seeing you guys, probably in this room. Um, and this will be the last time that I see you guys until sometime next year. I don't know when. Yeah, hopefully it will get better for me because I can't survive another 2024. I really can't. This year was my lowest of lows. Not to be melodramatic or anything like that, but yeah, this year really has been awful for me. There's some highlights, my birthday, Meadow's birthday, Valentine's Day, the DC Extended Universe video, Monarch Legacy of Monsters was a fun video. Top 15 favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger videos was fun too. Um, yeah, there were some highlights, but yeah, this year sucked ass. So yeah, I need a good fresh start, and so hopefully I'll be getting that when I come back next year. So that'll do it for this year, guys. Push to comment down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this video with your friends, and as always, go out, watch some movies, spend time with your family, and try to enjoy life. Try to make the best of what you got, and I will see you guys in the next video.